Hey guys, it's Mythos Gamer. Today we'll be doing our first turn of game number 4. Because we just finished our setup, there's really not much to do during the upkeep. Everything's pretty much the way we want it. And we don't have any abilities we need to activate during the upkeep phase. So we're going to move on to our movement phase. Our first player this turn is going to be Hank. Hank is over at the general store. And just like any other game of Arkham Horror, we need to start out by collecting some clue tokens. So he's going to move from the general store to the Rivertown streets, and then to the graveyard, where we'll pick up 2 clue tokens, bringing up to a total of 3. Our next investigator, Daisy, is at the library. Before we actually move, we're going to use some of her items. Daisy has a movement of 4. We're going to use one of her movement points to activate the True Magic Tome. You can spend 1 movement point and exhaust it to make a lore -1 check. If you pass, gain 1 clue token and lose 1 sanity. Daisy has a lore of 5, so we're going to roll 4 die. And there's the success she needed. She will gain a clue token, bring her up to 2 clue tokens. Normally she would lose a sanity, but because she has the Careful Reader ability, she never loses sanity from reading a tome. Daisy has 3 more movement points left. So she's going to go from the library to the streets of Miskatonic University, then over to the French Hill streets, and finally to the Silver Twilight Lodge, where there's a gate to the Plateau of Lang and a cultist. She's not going to try to evade it, she's going to fight it. The cultist doesn't require a horror check, and normally gives +1 to combat because Yog-Sothoth is our ancient one. The cultist has a -1 to combat checks and magical immunity. Daisy has a fight skill of 3, plus she also has the fight skill, giving her another +1. So she has a fight of 4. -1 from the cultist, we're going to roll 3 die. And she got the 1 success she needed. The cultist goes down, and she will gain the cultist as a monster trophy. Our next investigator is Patrice. She has a movement of 4. We're also going to collect some clue tokens with her because she has the ability that lets her share them with everybody else. So she's going to go from the curio shop to the north side streets to the downtown streets, and finally from the downtown streets to Independence Square, which will collect a clue token, bring her up to a total of 5 clue tokens. And our final investigator, Agnes, has a movement of 4. We're only going to use 2 of her movement points this turn. She's going to go from Velma's Diner to the Easttown streets, and then up to Hibbs Roadhouse, which will collect a clue token, bring her up to 4. Next we have our Arkham Encounters phase. Our first player, Hank, is at the graveyard, so you will draw an encounter card for him. Testifying, Cooter Falwell talks about a group he heard about up in Dunwich called the Believers. He wants you to stay away from them, claiming that they dance naked around the standing stones on the hills there and traffic with demons. Although most of what he says is nonsense, you may just find a few useful kernels of truth. Gain 1 clue token. We will always take clue tokens. Our next investigator, Daisy, is at the Silver Twilight Lodge, where there is a gate to the Plateau of Lang. So she will be pulled through the gate, and she will appear in the first area of the Plateau of Lang. Our third investigator, Patrice, is at Independence Square. Alright, make a will -1 check. If you pass it, Anna Kozlow, the fortune teller, offers her help in your investigation. Take her ally card if it's still available. If it is not, gain 2 clue tokens. If you fail, nothing happens. Patrice has a will of 1, and she also has the will skill, giving her +1 to will, and if we use a clue token, she will get 2 bonus die. So we're going to roll 1 die. She's a will of 2. -1, we'll roll 1 die and see what happens. We did not get a success. Now, We could use a clue token and get 2 more die at a chance at getting this. Normally I don't like using clue tokens for skill checks unless it's an emergency, but if the ally Anna isn't available, we get 2 clue tokens. So we could possibly spend 1 clue token and win 2. So I think we're going to do that. We're going to use 1 of our clue tokens. That puts her down to 4. We're going to roll 2 more die. Ouch. Well, at this point, I kind of think that we have to spend another clue token, so maybe we can break even. And there's the successes we needed. I'm going to look through the ally deck real quick and see if we have Anna in there. We only have 11 allies available to us. And Anna was in the ally deck. So Patrice will gain her. She gets +2 to luck. And she gains 2 clue tokens when she joins you. So we're back up to our 5. And now we have 2 luck. One thing that I don't think I've ever gone over. With allies, there is a game limit of 11 allies per game. So whenever you start a game and you had expansions in, you take your stack of allies, shuffle it up, deal out 11 of them, and put the rest back in the box. So that's why I wasn't for sure if Anna was in there or not. I don't think I've explained that before. And our 4th investigator, Agnes, is at Hibbs Roadhouse. So we will draw an encounter card. Hey, psst, look like someone who could use a little information. Looking over at the bartender, you see him holding out his hand. You may pay him up to $6, gaining 1 clue token for every $2 you pay him. Yes, sir, we will definitely take your clue tokens. Agnes has $5, so we will spend 4 of it and get 2 clue tokens. This will bring her up to a total of 6. That is the end of our Arkham Encounters phase, so moving on to our Otherworld Encounters phase. Daisy is in the Plateau of Lang, so we need a red or green Otherworld Encounter card. And we drew a green one. Plateau of Lang is not on there, so go to Other. The creature waves its hand at you. Blessings upon you. If you have a cursed card, you may discard it. That would be great if we were cursed, but we'll take that too, that's fine. Nothing happens. Alright, that was a pretty quick Otherworld Encounter phase. I guess we'll go on to our Mythos phase now. We're going to have a gate and a monster appear at the woods. Our gate is going to be another dimension, +0 to close. Actually -1 because of Yogg-Sothoth. And our monster is going to be a goat spawn. -1 to sneak, and it is a red monster, so it's fast. It will move twice. For combat, it has a -1 to hard checks, doing 1 sanity damage, -2 to combat checks, doing 1 stamina damage, 2 toughness, and physical resistance. There was a clue token at the woods, but now we have a goat spawn and a gate to another dimension. Because another gate opened up, we're going to add another Doom counter to our Doom track. In addition, Patrice is going to use her Ominous Dreams ability. This will give her a clue token because a new gate opened up. This will bring her up to 6 clue tokens. Next, we will place a clue token at Independent Square. Lucky for us, Patrice is already there, so she will pick it up, and this will bring her up to 7 clue tokens. Now for monster movement. We have 1 monster on the board, the goat spawn. It is a hexagon monster. As you see, the hexagon is in the black area, so the goat will move twice on the black arrow. First, it's going to move from the woods to the uptown streets, and then over to the south side streets. And for the text of our Mythos card, we have a headline, Manhunt in Arkham. All monsters and locations are returned to the cup. Our only monster is the goat spawn, and it is in the south side streets, so it will stay where it is. Alright guys, that ends our first turn. We had a really good turn, but as you know, Things in Arkham don't get any easier, they only get worse. So we'll see what happens next turn. I will catch you guys later.